There, my name is Suze, and I work with women to help them find balance between their internal masculine and feminine energies so that they can have lives that feel really emotionally fulfilling, full of love and connection. So, I first of all want to thank those of you who've been dropping some comments, some of your beautiful souls out there who are resonating with my message, appreciating the slightly different insights that I have been giving YouTube and you. I really appreciate it. And I've also had some of you give me ideas or requests for things that you would like to hear me speak on. And I really want to encourage anyone out there, if you're really resonating with my message, if you're listening to these videos and appreciating my kind of slightly different insight on some of these things, please, drop a comment. Let me know if I can take this a step further for you or what you need from me. If there's a particular message or a video that you're really finding a lot of help and value and it's really relevant to whatever you're dealing with in your life right now, please do drop me a comment and let me know how I can help you. You can also always email me, and I check my emails a lot more frequently. I'll be honest. I check my email a lot more frequently than I do comments on YouTube. The way it's set up for me here on YouTube, it's a little bit trickier for me to keep track of what comments I've seen and what I haven't seen. So it's really easier for me if you just email me as well. That is in the description box below. But I can also tell you it's love@inhalelovewithsuze.com. You can find that in the description box below as well, and the link to my website in general. So again, thank you for the encouraging words, for helping me see that what I'm speaking is really resonating and helping and adding a lot of value to those of you out there who are doing this work. I so appreciate your part in this journey. I so honor the work you're doing to shine your light and create a healthier world for everyone. Thank you for your part as well. So today, I'm feeling kind of personal today. I'll tell you guys, I got these two new little bangles, and I'll talk to you about my bracelets for a second here. I got two new little bangles for Mother's Day. I have two boys, and I got these bangles, so I love that. I'm big on my bracelets. You may have seen that in my other videos previously, that I love to wear my bracelets, but there is a lot of meaning behind it. And this is something I've talked about more on like Facebook and Instagram in the past, about how having daily little reminders about what you're focusing on, or things that you need to remember for the day, or things that may bring you back to center, are really helpful. And for me, I like pretty things. I have a Taurus moon, so I like pretty and beautiful things. I like to be surrounded by beauty. So bracelets work for me. But just to kind of let you guys know, let you in on my world a little bit. So today I'm wearing the blue because to me this feels like royalty. It's like a royal cobalt blue, and it feels like royalty. And I've really been personally in my life trying to step into the idea of the crown and wearing a crown and the queen, the empress, that kind of a thing. Then I have some wooden beads, obviously, for grounding, and I love how they're a pale wood color, very soft. I love pastel colors. It's calming and soothing. So I have that for grounding. This sterling bracelet I do wear every day. It was my graduation gift when I finished yoga teacher training. And on the inside, it has an engraving for me with the word whole, which is so crazy amazing, because that is literally where my business here in working with women, this business has organically gone into, which I didn't realize this is what I would be doing back then when I was doing the yoga teacher training. But the wholeness really is that whole masculine feminine balance, right? That is wholeness, whole and complete on my own, lacking nothing. So I think that's really kind of cool. Then I have kunzite here, which is all about divine feminine energy. And then, of course, amethyst, which is all about intuition. I'm in a space in my life right now where I'm having to make a lot of decisions. And so clearly, I want my intuitive powers, the high priestess powers and energies, to be coming forth and accentuated as I make decisions. So enough about me. I'm sorry, I just took 5 minutes of your time with that. So if you're still here with me, thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Drop in the comments below if there's anything in your life that you like to do to kind of help you bring you back to your focus for the day. Are there any little tricks and tips, kind of like my bracelets, that maybe you have? Let me know in the comments below. And then let's get into today's topic. Today, talking about kind of going into a couple of video part series talking about the highs and the lows of life. I'm going to have a little bit of my coffee. It's still early for me here, so I'm still having my coffee. Keeping it real today. Keeping it real. So, talking about the highs and the lows, right? And if you think about it, what are we saying when we say the highs and the lows emotionally? It's just waves of energy. It's just energy, right? I think probably most of you have heard emotions are simply energy in motion. So emotions, if they're just energy in motion, you have the highs and the lows going like this, right? And what I think we don't fully comprehend is there's such a fear of the lows that we try to like avoid the lows, right? And there's plenty of information out there about, avoiding, distracting, escaping, numbing from the lows, right? But what we fail to recognize is that if everything is really truly, sorry about that, everything really truly is a wave, and you have your baseline, your neutral in the middle, right? And you have your wave going like this. Now think about this. The lower the wave goes also means the same height that it's going to go. So for me in my journey of the soul, I really believe that a huge component of having the highs, which let's just think of it as abundance, because that feels less scary, right? The highs are the abundance. So the more abundance you want, the more you're going to have to learn how to go into the depths, learn how to navigate the lows, because it's all the same. How high you can go is directly proportional to how low you can go. Now, here's the thing with that when we're talking about emotions and energy. A lot of this work goes back to the mother wound, feminine energy healing, mother wound. And I'm not going to go too far into that, but be aware that that is the work you're usually doing when you're talking about the highs and the lows and the emotions and learning how to stay in a stable, calm, safe, grounded place and navigate the highs and the lows. So maybe you might want to, on your own, take a moment, look back on your childhood, look back on your experience with your mother. And how did she handle big emotion? Whether it was a high or low, doesn't matter. How did she handle big emotion? Or when you as a child were in the midst of experiencing what would feel like to you as a child, if you were experiencing big emotion, how did she respond to you? Was she able to hold space for you in your big emotions of the child? Or was that difficult for her? And all of that is going to directly affect how you're showing up now as an adult, dealing with the waves of energy, the waves, the highs and the lows of emotion, and how we respond to life. So I'll get more into that later. But for now, I just want to start with the highs and the lows to really start painting a picture and laying some groundwork with this work here, this deeply emotional work. Because to have total emotional fulfillment, like I always say at the beginning of my videos, if you want really deep, total 10 of cups emotional fulfillment, that is really big abundance. That is a really big high, if you will, high of the wave. So you have to learn how to do both. So I want to start with the lows, right? I feel like it's kind of easier to think about the lows because I know in my life, I feel like The lows are the ones that really take me out, right? So it's like if you can focus on the lows, it's easier to be to see times of your life where you were in the lows and the negatives, right? And if you learn how to navigate the negatives better, then I think we can move into the highs. It just seems like the natural progression for me, unfortunately. It's like I've said before about human nature. We need that contrast, right? You need to first figure out the pain, figure out what you don't like, to then be able to flip it into what you do want in your life. And that's how a lot of us tend to learn what exactly we do and don't want in our life, is by seeing the don't wants first. So I did a written post about the lows on my Instagram and my Facebook, and also in the community section here on YouTube. I did a quick written post. It has the one with me with the beach picture. I was at the beach and I was having an amazing journal session. I really wanted the water and the sun healing, and I was writing in my journal, and I put up a written post. So you can see some of this over there as well, but I wanted to do a video to expand on that more, because on the written posts, I don't want them to be like a book, right? So in the lows, right? How well do you hold space for yourself in the lows? Do you judge yourself? Do you shame yourself? Do you think that I should be over this by now? Is there a sense of rushing to rush yourself out of the low? Or do you let it just be? Do you let yourself just recognize this is part of life, is that there are ebbs and flows, there are lows of life, and the journey is about learning how to find grounding and stability and calm and comfort, healthy comfort in the lows, right? So here is where the needs come in. When you're in the lows, we have a tendency, the lower self in us has a tendency to grasp for things that are temporarily comforting, so therefore not actually comforting, or there's a tendency to go to the people that you know will validate you in the low and will not encourage or inspire you to step into your higher self, which may feel more challenging in the moment of the low. This is a big one. This is a big one. We all know intuitively, instinctively, where the people around us, where they are. And if you want validation to stay low, if you want validation to stay in your comfort zone, you know exactly who to go to that will validate you staying small, staying in the lower self, staying down here. So be very careful who you go to when you're in a low. With women, I see this in particular in relationships, right? If you're struggling with something with the man in your life, the masculine figure in your life, if you're struggling with something, it's intuitive in women. We want to go to our friends, our girlfriends, for help and support and validation. That is how feminine energy works. We're so relationally based. We intuitively want to have support, feel support and validation and encouragement. But be very careful when it's about your relationship, because only you have lived your particular life experience. Only you really know what you have in your partnership with your person, what you have, what you value in that space, why you're still there with that person, and what you need for your own growth, what you need in your own journey that's happening between you and your person that could actually be a huge breakthrough for you. But if you go to the wrong friends and they tell you, oh, you're so much better than that, why are you dealing with that? You could be missing out on a huge opportunity for growth. This is a huge thing that comes up with the women I work with in the coaching world and with my clients. It's a huge, huge problem. How one woman has lived her life and what is important or needed for her in a relationship is not what you need or value in your relationship necessarily. Your life story is different and unique than anyone else's. So they are not going to know really what's happening in your relationship dynamic with your person or in your connection, your spiritual connection. So oftentimes, the higher road, the more challenging road, stepping out of your comfort zone, is to stay quiet when you are in it with your person. Or maybe you're lucky, I am. Maybe you're lucky enough to have someone in your inner circle who will push you to the next level, who will help you see the opportunity for growth in the midst of whatever it is you're dealing with. That's who you want to go to, not the one who's going to encourage you to walk away or to escape or to distract or to whatever the lower option is. This is really huge, and I've heard it from clients over and over again when we get on the phone for our sessions, is that they come to me with these things and they realize they really can't talk to other people about these things because everyone else says the same thing. And I'm the only one over here cheering on the relationship and encouraging people to stay. Obviously, of course, do not stay in a relationship that is abusive. That is not what I am encouraging. I need to be very clear. But I think that so many times we leave, and no judgment, I've done it myself. I'm the classic person who breaks up in the relationship. I'm the breaker upper or whatever that would be. So I understand. But choosing to stay can also be the opportunity for a breakthrough for the biggest growth of your life. Relationships are a portal for growth. I've already gone over my time that I usually like to keep these videos on, so maybe I'll have to make this a two-part video. I'm going to close it here because clearly I have said enough. How do you handle the lows? If you want more about this, do look on my community section tab of this of my YouTube channel here, and you can see the written post talking about the lows and having a few key questions. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do a part 2 of this video at some point in time. Tell me if this video helped you guys, if you resonate with this, if you've noticed any of this as well in your life. Thank you so much for those of you who've listened and who are participating and commenting. I really appreciate you, and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.